I'm going to keep my mic right here because I look particularly nasty
Stop
today.
it. Do you want to count us down?
So,
you can do it.
If anybody's watching.
Nobody even
I
listens.
kind of like this, actually. It's just my eyeballs
would
above
you
the microphone.
Stop it. In
I'll be
5,
like-
4, 3, 2, 1.
I missed it. Do it again.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the Jack
and Kathy
Show.
shit show.
And there we go.
Yeah, how was that?
Okay,
Did you like
I
that
think if
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What is going on with you in the video? Come on.
So we just woke up. We were
woke up.
driving home. We
did not just wake up. It's 8 o'clock. We've been up for an hour and a half at least.
It's still a just. And
It's not, oh, brother. You were literally hiding behind the microphone.
I am.
Oh, Riley.
Should we turn the video off?
Come on.
This is awful.
It's
People
not
should not have to
awful.
be
It's-
put through this horror.
Oh, my
What
God.
I look like in the morning.
Stop it.
All right.
Could
There.
you put the
See?
microphone
As
down,
if-
please?
As if tucking my hair behind my ears helps anything. I'm
Jesus.
desperately looking at myself in the camera going, oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, my God. All
Come
right.
on now.
All right. We'll just ignore that. I'm going to drink my smoothie. Carry on.
Oh, that's a nice smoothie. Do you know what's in it?
Clearly blueberries.
Maybe some arsenic. Oh.
Yeah. To what end?
Right.
What's that
What's
get
that going to get me? Just a dead body.
Now you have more shit to deal with.
Wait a
My
minute.
dead body.
Wait a minute. Where's
And-
all the powder I like to have in the morning? Okay, never mind. That made no sense.
I don't know what
I
that
don't know
means.
what just happened. I was thinking of something else and it didn't come out fast enough. And then the word powder
or
just
it,
jumped
or
in
it
there.
came out too fast.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Boom. Waiting for that all day. Big one shout out. We should do our podcast in the morning. I think we have so much more energy.
Well, definitely. And that's what I was going to say. We were driving home from Chicago yesterday and I was exhausted. I was like, is it midnight? Because that's how it feels.
We were in
And it
bed
was
at
7.
8. We were in bed at 8.
Oh, it was beautiful.
By the way, for the listeners, we were in bed watching
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind, eating popcorn in bed at 8 o'clock at night.
And we were happy as
Happy
hell.
as shit. Luther's say what? Seriously.
Exactly. We were so happy.
What the hell?
Oh,
Do you want to
my
watch Love
God.
is Blind? Sure. In bed? Sure. I'll get the popcorn. Okay.
All right. And it was, for anybody else that watches Love is Blind, it's so ridiculous.
There we go.
You're moving me closer.
I like Love is Blind.
So it is,
I got very emotional yesterday.
you did. There were two couples. For anybody that doesn't watch this crazy reality show,
Yeah.
they all these
Participants.
participants, they don't get to see each other. They just go from room to room to room.
And it's
to room
heterosexual,
and
to be
have,
sure.
Yes, so
Right.
far
So
it's
far.
been.
Oh, that's right. Good
yeah,
point.
they might have,
Yep.
other
Yep.
types of relationships
Yep.
on there.
Yep.
But these were, the basis of it is definitely heterosexual relationships at this point.
Yep.
And it's interesting because they have these conversations, they connect, they bond, they supposedly are falling in love while they are in the pods.
They don't get
They
to
have
see
not
each other.
seen each other. They most of them don't discuss what they look like, but of course with some couples the curiosity is piqued and they're like, so tell me, do you like to work out? You
Right.
know, like these supposedly what they think are maybe cryptic questions trying to get info
Right.
from
Do
them.
you eat a lot of burgers on a daily basis with fries?
What's your favorite food? Oh, chicken fingers, huh? Next.
Right.
Oh, it's my niece.
No, you had.
It's my
I
niece
know, we had to
Rachel's
keep
birthday
talk-
today.
we'll do it that later.
So, and then, believe it or not, some of these couples fall in love without even seeing each other, and they typically the male will propose to the female, and once they have proposed and the proposal for marriage is accepted, they see each other for the first time.
Right?
And it's really wild.
Well, because we get to see what their faces are.
That's kind of fun, actually. I have to admit, because it's so terrible that we get into this shit. It really is.
That you and I watch these things?
Yes.
Why is it terrible?
Because it's like being a...
At our last podcast, we talked very clearly how we should move into a home. And I think that would make a hilarious movie, by the way. About this.
Because it's more affordable?
Because it's just more affordable. And we hide our savings overseas
but
somehow.
It's not.
I know, but it'd be funny if we hid our savings like an account overseas so they couldn't track it. But then we lived in a home just so we can get free food and hang out with a bunch of people.
I think that's illegal. I think you probably signed documents to say,
I don't know.
Are you revealing all your finances or are you lying
there's
to get
the
in?
arc we were looking for. Remember,
there's the arc.
Remember, I said you got to have
the
some
threat of
at me,
jail
by the
time.
Way. You've got beans. You got blueberry in your face. You're a train wreck in the morning.
I shouldn't.
But see, I like Love is Blind because we, as the viewers of the show, get to see what each couple looks like, and we can kind of go, "Oh, they'd make a cute couple," right? And then other times you're like, "Oh, he has no idea."
Wait till that reveal.
Right.
He's not gonna.
Right.
He seems to be a little too obsessed with
looks
physical
and,
attributes, and she might not.
That's not
she might
gonna work.
not. So anyway, and
there was one woman on it who's getting just crucified in social media because she claimed that she looked like to the guy. She's not supposed to reveal looks, but she said, "Oh my God, I look." Do you ever see Megan Fox? And his eyes bug out, his ears perk up. Right, he's like Megan Fox.
Mm-hmm.
She looks nothing.
Yeah,
like, I don't even know why she came up with
Social
that.
media is brutal.
Oh,
we can't ever become famous because people will take. No, we can't. We can't because they will take images of this podcast and then like
oh
how
God,
crappy I look.
Babe,
and
I would love it because I can't get any worse. So go for it.
You are handsome. What are you doing?
Stop it. I just think if we're that famous where we get memes talking about how goofy we are in the morning, I would swim right in that swamp. Bring it on. By the way, here's my jet I'm flying. Thanks for doing memes about me. Right? Oh, I just bought a $2 million house with 4 pools and horses.
I think I would turn off social media. If
make
that was
fun of me. Sorry, I'm loaded. I mean, really, when you have fuck you money, you get to say fuck you,
Yeah. I guess.
Anyway, I liked Love is Blind, and last night we watched it in bed.
So fast forward many episodes, and you get to the point where there are couples that are actually walking down the aisle.
Do you believe I actually brought us back? We digressed, and I brought us back.
Yeah, that's shocking.
Shocking. Would you stop covering your face?
No.
It's really bothering me. Stop ducking. Anyone watching this, because you can watch it on Spotify and you can go to YouTube also to watch it. Would you stop it? Come on, finish saying what you're saying. You're so silly right now. Come on.
So you get to couples actually walking down the aisle.
If anyone's not watching this, if you ever saw the TV show The Munsters and there was Cousin It who just had hair all over their face, this is what Kathy's doing right now. She's taking her hair and completely covering her face because she doesn't like the way she looks in the morning. You're such a goof right now. Okay, land the plane.
All right. So, yes, there are couples that actually make it down the aisle. And you don't know when it comes to saying I do and I do. There's all the theatrics with a wedding. There's flowers. There's guests. There's the wedding suite, there's champagne, there's the giggles, there's the getting ready with your girlfriends and the guys getting ready and bachelor party, bachelorette parties and just everything.
Well, and to be sure, they've known each other for 6 weeks at
yes.
this point. That's it.
And you don't know if when they get to the altar that each of them will actually say, I do. Right. And there were only 2 couples last night that walked down the aisle.
To walk down the aisle, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of them, the guy said, I can't do this right now.
Because I don't.
I still love you. I love you, but I got to work on me.
It's bullshit. He didn't love her.
No.
It's bullshit. Yeah.
And she was crushed. needless to say, because she loves him, and
Well,
she thought they were in the same place. And he said all those warm, wonderful things about her on the altar. Like,
yeah, you're my everything. You're my soul. You're my person. He said a lot of that shit, right?
And then he says, no.
He said, but I loved how he went to talk to her afterward and said, this is a game time decision. It just happened at the moment. It was game time. It was a game time decision. While I was on the altar, I started thinking about it. Bullshit. In your gut.
Well, and he also said, he said, I'm sorry many, many times. He said, I'm sorry. You have to know this is hard on me too. And it's like, this isn't about you, dick.
See, that's funny. You and I have the same feeling on that.
Yeah.
I feel he knew. And this is what we
that
talked
he
about.
Pressed her.
Yep.
To make sure she felt his pain too.
That's right.
When he's the one that took the action, the hurtful action.
That's right. But he had to feel some sort of validation in his pain so that it could lessen the effect of on him.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? This is what you wanted to talk about yesterday.
Yeah.
He knew, and we talked about when you know, right? And how you deal with partners, even though you know deep inside there's something wrong, inherently wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Remember we talked about that yesterday? Mm-hmm. And you were like, oh, stop talking. This is a podcast. Shut up. We should talk about this on our podcast. So we'll get there in a second.
You and I stopped talking because we save everything for the podcast.
We have these great conversations. This is why you wanted the podcast.
Jack and I walk around the house in silence now because every topic we have to save for the podcast.
Well, you were the one that, truly, almost 3 years ago now, you said, let's do a podcast because we have all these great conversations. And now we find ourselves talking, going, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Save it for the podcast. So anyway, we'll table their conversation for a second if we could. Mm-hmm. But my feeling is deep in his gut, he knew. Mm-hmm. Right? Like we were talking on the car ride home, deep in our gut, the partners we were with before you and I met, deep in our gut, they knew. And when circumstance presented something to them where we challenged them, like, for example, the circumstance yesterday, deep in my feeling, deep in his heart, he knew she wasn't the one, number one.
Right.
And he knew he didn't want to be with somebody. Like, I think he's a player, a little bit of a player right now.
Yes.
But to be fair, he's 26 years old. So maybe he's not quite ready, which is fine. No grievances there, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think we have issue if someone's like, I'm not ready to be tied down. But you state that then. If you're going to go out on dates, go, hey, you may be a conquest for me, right? And I think that's hard to say because it acknowledges something that's unattractive,
Who
right?
would stick around for that shit?
Well, but you should be honest. That's my opinion. And you'll find someone who just wants that too. Where I'm going with this is when pressed to make a decision, right? The wedding, or in our cases, our other relationships, when things changed for you, when things changed for me, when we each pushed our prior partner to make a bigger commitment, right? Suddenly they stop showing up as much as they used to, right? I remember you telling me a story about a door not being suddenly opened anymore, right? Like little things you started to recognize, remember?
Yes.
When you kind of pressed the issue.
Yes.
I want a bigger commitment. When I said I want a bigger commitment, suddenly I got, oh, well, I'm really busy, right? Deep down inside, I would maintain those people knew, just like the guy in the show knew.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah.
In his soul, he knew, but he figured if I could drag this out, but the wedding said you can't drag it out anymore.
Yeah.
And
right.
That's what we'll get to later in the podcast. Is that fair?
Well, and what goes through my mind too is that some of them drag it out just because they don't want to be off the show.
That too.
They take it to the end so that they can still get their 15 minutes of fame,
or more so,
or more so,
yep.
right? Or
Agreed.
they are intentionally creating this turmoil and disruption because that just extends their
it does. It creates
minutes
their moments of fame,
attention and fame. And
so it's probably not a perfect parallel because neither one of us were on a game show with our partners,
right?
No,
but it's the human nature. It's the human dynamic.
For sure. And then conversely, there was one couple that they, from the beginning, what in God's name are you doing now?
So I just did something funny to my hair. And you know how when you look in a mirror and everything's backwards? And I couldn't figure out how to get that chunk of hair back because I'm looking at the camera view. And I was doing the opposite.
It's literally the camera view that we have because we have such a good setup here is exactly what a weatherman has when they have to point to things.
Oh yeah, that takes some mad skills.
It does because right now this is my right hand waving. Right, see that?
Oops. Yeah, the weather here.
Okay. All right, let's go back. And then there was this other couple, which whom I adored. And from the beginning, you could see their connection emotionally. And they both happened to be, and I hate to say it, they happen to be moderately to above average attractive, right?
Yeah.
And so it's hard not to, and every time we've watched these episodes, there's 6 seasons now, the couples that make it all are at least, and it's unfortunate. It's really sad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look similarly, right? They're attractive in some way, at least to one another, right? There's not a massive disparity of a really good-looking guy with a not so good-looking woman.
I think the truth is that love is not blind.
I agree with you. I mean, we all have what we're attracted to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I do believe there's elements that bring the attractiveness of someone out.
Yeah.
However, if you're not attractive, there's a physical component. I'm not denying that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not denying that that's an element. So let's Bella Gandhi this shit for a second.
Yeah.
You still have to have all those other qualities there. If you lead with physical attraction, I think that's where you excuse shit. Agree?
Right. Right.
And so I think you have to get to know the person first.
Well, and that's the
That's the
basis
key.
of the show.
Right. Well, that's the basis of Bella Gandhi's work too.
Right.
Right. The person
Yeah.
should match. That's the basis of our conversation that we want to have today.
Right.
Right. Anyway, this other couple, Johnny and Amy, were simply adorable from the beginning, and you never know because these producers, you never
Those
know
were
on this show.
their names?
Johnny and Amy.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And you never know on this
Amy?
show.
Amy? I think
Yeah.
it was AD.
AD was the black woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Johnny and Amy.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to watch it?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you never know what the real outcome is because the producers do such an amazing job of setting up the drama for you so you stick
Right.
around. And so they had led into it that it looked like she was going to say no or he was going to say no, right? They end up saying yes, and it's beautiful. And every year every season they seem to find a couple or two that make it.
That actually make it
Yeah,
right.
and there's one right now that's on the first ever that they have 2 kids now, and I get caught up in the emotion of love
Yeah.
that works. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The only reason I started watching this show a couple summers ago is because the kids were over when we were first in the house, and we had the big sectional couch in the living room before we adulted it. The living room is now an adult space, and
It
it's
does look
not
more
it's not
mature.
as comfy now.
It's not. It does.
But
look more
anyway,
like a showroom
the
house,
kids
yes.
were over. I think it was just my kids, right?
Yeah.
And my kids were over, and they started watching Love Is Blind, and
Well,
I'm
we
like
also were
begrudgingly
watching Love Island too.
Oh yeah, Love Island, that was it too. So I begrudgingly, because if I can sit next to my kids for anything and participate in anything, I will do it. And even watching these reality shows, which it's so funny because I certainly rolled my eyes like, really, are we watching this? And now I'm like, it's the next episode on.
Is she still liking him? What happened?
He's a big jerk.
Why is he so mean
What?
to her?
Yeah. Now I'm all judgy watching every episode.
But I get caught up in I was welling up yesterday going, oh my God, if they break up, I'm going to start crying.
You did.
Well, when they
You are
both.
so wonderfully sensitive. I love
I'm
that about you.
crazy sensitive.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to just pause there for a second.
Yeah, because I'm petting you.
I don't know what is going on with you
I'm
today.
petting you.
We are doing every podcast in the morning. Your energy is so much better in the morning.
I'm like at night where I'm like,
at 8 o'clock, I can't even get through to you. It's like, hey, Kat, what? You're just out of it. I am so sensitive that when they said I do and they were smiling, and because the whole time they did something that you and I always do, and I feel strongly that really strong couples do this together. And you know what it is? I bet you do. Yeah.
appreciate each other.
Something that's very just simple that every couple does, that I think really strong couples do the best together. This is my opinion. They laugh.
Oh,
That they're
yes.
constantly laughing. And
Yeah.
you and I have been laughing since we met. You laugh at me a lot.
We'll talk about that off
when
air.
I get out of the shower, you're like, is that funny? So they laughed all the time in the pods. They were constantly laughing, and then they were challenging each other with really deep questions. Hey, how would you handle this? And how would you handle that? And And they did focus on getting to know one another, and then they mixed it in with a bunch of laughter and silliness, and I get very choked up with that. So I was truly crying when they said I do. And I was like, this is awesome. I love love.
I wonder if they'll start a golden, like they did a Golden Bachelor, which was a huge hit. If they'll start a Golden Love is Blind, like this whole series.
Well, okay, and so here's
Golden
the other thing.
Love is Blind.
So I can't believe this whole episode is going to be dedicating to these types of shows. We're also watching The Bachelor.
Oh, we are.
Right?
Yeah.
And Joey is
adorable. I want to put him in my pocket.
Listen to me. I'm so embarrassed right now. You know, it started.
No, you're not.
I'm not. It started with me and Alex and my mother watching The Bachelor.
The Golden Bachelor?
The Bachelor, Bachelorette. I know Al listens to this, so it started. I wish this was a call-in live show.
I know.
Because that if she was listening, she'd be like, "It was Amber," or whatever the woman's name is, right? But we started watching with my mom. In fact, I think when my dad was still around, and so that was kind of our way of bonding. Every Monday night, Alex would come out when she moved back from Chicago or back from Oregon and watch The Bachelor with us, or The Bachelorette at the time. So we've kind of kept with it. And I think when I told you we watched The Bachelor, Bachelorette, you had a roll your eyes moment.
Oh, yeah. The kids used to watch that when they were younger.
But you thought it was stupid.
And I was like, I'm going to go in the other room and watch like a British crime drama. Bye.
Yeah, exactly. And so we've come to really like it. And now Joey was with Maria and Daisy, and I don't remember the other two women's name, right? Because Maria was
we love Daisy.
So glad he dumped
Kelsey.
Maria. Kelsey's pretty, and then who's the Hawaiian
Kelsey's
girl?
sweet too.
Who's the Hawaiian girl? Is that Kelsey? No.
No, Kelsey is the tall one with the long hair.
Yeah.
And then who's the other?
I don't remember the other one, but she's
lady?
really
she's
sweet.
She's really very
But he dumped Maria. Thank goodness.
Rightly so.
Ugh.
Rightly so.
He never really got to see her true side. She kept that from him pretty well.
Yeah.
She was awful.
She shot herself in the foot. Well, she's
a very intense person. I mean, again, we sound terrible judgy right now. But
I know.
We're so caught up in the show. Anyway, I hope he gets with Daisy.
Yeah.
I love her. She's just
so
genuine.
Daisy is very sweet. So we've got a couple more episodes of that.
Yeah, because now they go away to the suites.
Mm-hmm. You're so good at that.
So normally we would take a break right now and go to a commercial, but we don't want to put up any ads on this one. So do you want to segue then into what we were talking about?
I don't remember. You segue me.
Well, you have an Instagram thing that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, what was it?
Oh, God. You sent it to me.
I know.
This is great.
We have to bring it down from the cloud of which is my brain.
It was that one woman
my
talking
brain is
about
a
the
cloud.
10 things that you should look for in a partner.
Did I?
It was Instagram.
Right. Yes. But I think I tend to.
Did you text it to me?
I tend to text you things.
So look under links on your phone. So not pics, not photos, links. There you go. And then you're going to want to try to find it. So it's.
Oh no,
I think you sent it to me on Instagram, sweetheart.
Yes.
Yeah, you Instagrammed it.
Sweetheart.
Was that
sweetheart?
Was that a condescending sweetheart?
Totally.
It was not meant to be.
Totally,
it really wasn't.
It was.
I'd give you a condescending sweetheart if you want it. It was from your Kathy account.
Oh, I'm familiar.
You are a train wreck right now. Oh my God.
I'm not very good at this.
You are not very good at this. There you go. That's me. That's from me. That's ours right there. That's from me. That's... Oh, my God. Where is it? This is hilarious. You know what's funny? Here's the best part about all this. I asked you upstairs, hey, cue that stuff up. There it is. I asked you to cue it up. Remember that? And you're like, I got it.
I was talking to my parents.
All right.
It doesn't go live.
Are you being serious right now?
Uh-huh.
We can't open it now. Oh, Riley. Can you talk then and occupy the camera?
No,
because
you can cut this part out.
I'm not cutting. No, I'm not editing things. You act like it's 2 seconds. Just cut it out. Just edit it. You can edit it, right? Just
you
cut
shared
it out.
Oh, here it is.
Okay. Okay.
Here are 10 key considerations that I've recommended to my own children.
Can you put it here?
As they get ready to choose partners. Perhaps you'll consider sharing it with yours. First,
You gonna hold it?
choose someone who will go to therapy with you. Sometimes we hit a roadblock and we need a little help getting over it. Second, choose someone who knows more about their emotions than happy, sad, and mad. There's so much more. Number 3, choose someone who treats people they don't know with respect. Number 4, choose someone who is open to a different point of view. Number 5, choose somebody who will go back home 3 or 4 times to get what you forgot. And number 6, choose somebody who will use the words we and us more than they use the words I and me. And number 7, choose someone who will be interested in how your day went. Number 8, choose someone who says, it's okay. Number 9, choose someone who will laugh with you, not at you. Number 10, choose someone who demonstrates a deep understanding of what it means to compromise. After years
There you
of
go.
therapy-
Do you like that?
Those
Did you
are
get them all?
really good.
Did you get them all?
I think so. So,
Way to be prepared for the meeting, by the way.
I know, right? It works. Oops.
Oh, my God.
I touched the controls.
So put it back up there again. That's the hilarious part. You're going to do it again. Just leave it over here. Go ahead. Let's
So
go through those.
I heard those and it made me think of, we've talked about this topic before. And actually it's poignant to our Love is Blind conversation too,
Yeah, it's
because
about poignant. I think it's funny because I always want to say poignant.
poignant.
Poignant. Go ahead. Side note.
Um,
Okay, go ahead. I totally ruined your train of thought.
yeah. Okay. Bye.
You thought it was poignant. See the conversation we were having about Love is Blind and all the TV shows.
Actually, yes, because it really is finding those people that you foundationally can connect with, that honor and respect you, that care about your well-being, that see you as a union, and what grows out of that can be such a more intense attraction to this person, and not just a physical attraction, but when you have those big things as a foundation to your relationship, it's amazing what can blossom from there. And so going to therapy, you know, if we go one by one, I feel so proud of us that we, you know, I think we have these things.
What do you mean, that we go to therapy?
Well,
You want to go
you know,
through them
just
one
going
by one?
through the 10 things that she listed are so huge. So,
Do you want to go
and I
through
feel,
them?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So,
therapy we actually enjoy going to.
absolutely.
Like it's not a we should go to therapy because
Yeah.
we have an issue. We actually find it now to be good at, what do you call it? Like a checkup,
Yeah.
right? I think we enjoy going. I don't think we go
I think we've gone a few times because we've had things we wanted to,
that we couldn't solve.
that we couldn't
Yeah.
solve. Yeah.
Yeah, but that, I guess I feel that's the way I look at it is this way. Hey, I'm having a hard time skiing, right? And so I go to a trainer who says, "Oh, you're sitting back too far, or you're not bending your knees enough."
Yeah.
That's different than I hate skiing, or I can't stand this person, and how do I get out of it? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Can I just do one thing? I want the mic there. So
Yeah.
okay, cool. So it can regulate. Anyway, but
So
I think we enjoy going because we want to make sure we're.
yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
And I think it demonstrates how you both want to work on the relationship and be better within the relationship. That again is the joint front of how you want to show up in the relationship with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, okay, we've got an issue. I'm willing to work on it with you, and be better.
Yeah. Agreed. Totally agree.
Number 2 is someone that's in touch with their emotions, and you and I think even, I don't know when
It's
we
called
start-
feelings.
It's called feelings, Greg. I just care too much.
Is that so wrong? That's a Parks and Recreation character.
Parks and Rec, it's Craig, the character Craig. So funny.
Is there a drug you're supposed to be on or maybe have taken too much of? It's called caring, Donna.
Oh my God. But, we have talked about emotional intelligence, and that is something that I didn't realize was so profoundly important to me, that someone can, you are very emotionally intelligent, and you challenge me even quite a bit on that front, because I'm very used to holding it all inside.
Mm-hmm.
And you scratch the surface. You're like, what is that? What is that little spot right there on you?
What do I see?
And I'm like, stop it. It's
what's funny?
Almost gone.
Can I play this real quick? When it comes to that, listen, I love this. Here,
It
listen.
invalidates your feelings.
When people invalidate your feelings.
When they invalidate your feelings, calmly and assertively say, I feel how I feel. So if they're telling you, you're so sensitive or you're overreacting, I feel how I feel. What you're saying is there's no part of this that's up for debate. I'm fully within my right to experience all of my emotions without justification.
See, I love that.
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's emotional intelligence.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah. And on a much more like elevated plane, that's like when you've been working on the easy stuff, that takes it to another level.
Correct.
to be
Right.
to be able to say to somebody,
Yeah,
what he just said, I feel how I feel, and this is not up for debate.
Right.
So anyway, I feel very lucky that
Same.
you are an emotionally intelligent
But when
person.
I feel lucky,
and I know we both get it wrong
for sure.
sometimes.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. But I like that we, again, tie it together. We went to therapy to figure out how to get it right, and we're using our emotional intelligence to get better.
Yeah.
And if I could just put all my words together really fast. Go ahead.
Well done.
Okay.
Respect to the other person. I mean, that goes without saying. I don't think I would be with you to begin with if I didn't have a great degree of respect for
respected
you.
the shit out of you the other night, remember?
Will you stop it?
I don't know why that came to my head,
I'm
but
sorry,
it's
Dad.
so funny.
Just ignore that.
Oh.
All right.
We do respect each other tremendously.
We do.
Absolutely.
We do. And then
Yep.
that you can be with somebody. The next one is having different points of view. Like you can respect the other person for having a different point of view. We kind of went through that in the last podcast because you and it wasn't so much that our points of views were different in terms of what you were saying, because I'm just not as confrontational as you are comfortable being. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just respectfully asked you not to make our venue that we're on together that platform, and you respected that. But I respect your point of view. I respect who you are. I want to encourage you that I love your voice. I love how you express yourself, and it can be,
Well, to your point, can I add something
Yeah.
real quick? To your point, we did disagree on it. It may not feel that way. Where we disagreed was I felt our channel is a voice for, like, any channel that we're on is a channel for us to express ourselves. And you went, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather you, and I could make the mental logical argument, the mathematical argument, that in today's day and age, the Jack and Kathy shit show is connected to Anada Homes, it's connected to Jack's website, it's connected to Ditchweed Diesel.
Yeah.
Someone could put all those things together in a heartbeat, right?
right.
Your bigger point was, I don't care if they put them all together. You can stand on your own platform, though. Don't make this platform
Yeah.
the energy for that.
Yes.
That's where we disagreed. But that's when I went, okay, I got to respect her opinion, because I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'd be one thing if I didn't have other platforms. And all you were saying to me was, use your personal platform for your shit.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not bring it
your
here to
shit.
Well,
not
no,
your
when
shit.
I say shit, my own stuff is what I don't
your
mean
own
bad.
stuff, because
I
I
think
respect
shit sounds
your
negative,
opinion.
but I mean it in a positive way, believe it or not. My own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Use our platform, the Jack and Kathy Shit Show, for relationships and that kind of stuff. And that's what you were. So we disagreed, but I respected it, and I think that's a great example.
Yeah.
Great example.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just pointed my finger at you.
Get what you forgot. So she mentioned
Oh my God!
someone that will always go back in the house for everything that you forgot. So as you pull away from the house, you're like, shit, I forgot I left the coffee I heated up in the microwave.
Do you
And
feel?
you go back,
do you
or circle around the front of the house to go back in the front door to get something that you forgot.
Do you feel we both do that?
Definitely.
I do feel we both
Definitely.
forget stuff. It's not
Yes.
just you or just
Yeah.
me. We both
Yeah.
have moments where, fuck, I forgot this. I'll be right back.
Right.
We are both very good with that, I
Yes.
think. Don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because here's again, we talked about this in
Mhm.
previous podcasts. There are two ways we could look at it, right? We were talking about on the drive home last night from Chicago. There are two ways we could look at it. God, they're such an idiot. Why do they forget things? Or they made a mistake.
Or they could just be annoyed because we're running late.
Right.
And how could you forget?
Or they just are human and they forgot something, or
Yeah.
something's on their mind, and that's
Yeah.
the reason they forgot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so again, it really depends on how you view that person. If you
Mm-hmm.
view them through the lens of human and fallible, then you'll be more accepting of some of their lesser moments. How's that?
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Right.
That leads back
Absolutely.
to respect.
Yeah, it sure does.
Keep rolling, baby.
Using we and us instead of I and me.
So I have a big one for that. Do you know that at my office, the people that work for me, when they send out messages to clients, they're required by me to use the words we,
Yeah.
not I.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the information you and your team requested. We put all of this stuff together. If you have any questions, let us know.
Yeah. I like that.
I require it of them
Yeah.
because this is because I feel I'm a good manager. Okay. I feel the vulnerability that puts in the other person. And so see if you can see, I'm going to tie this to you and me or any relationship where they become vulnerable is then it's easy for that person who's doing all that work to then go, well, how am I going to get recognition? Right.
Right.
And my words are, I know that you did it. And that's the most important thing. And I'll tell the client how hard you worked.
Right.
But it's not for you to push your own self and your own agenda in front of clients or in front of people internally, because the stronger we are as a team, then it relies on me to make sure that I'm rewarding you for those accolades. So I recognize the I. That's my job as a boss, that I recognize the I. Is that fair where I'm going with this?
Yeah. That sounds like a work setting situation.
Right. And so the vulnerability in the person who wants the I is, are they going to recognize me? Right. So see where I'm going with this so far. I've always believed in that philosophy. It's the we. We are much stronger than the I. In fact, I think I told you at work there was a guy who was really upset because someone did something wrong on my team. And he called me up and he said, who put that stuff out? Because all the messages were, we worked on this, we worked on that. And he said, who did that? It was a sales guy. And someone made a mistake. And it was a legitimate mistake. And it didn't cause a financial burden to us. It caused delays for a client, and he had to manage that. But guess what I refused to do?
You refused to give him the name of the person that screwed up.
He couldn't believe it. I said, it's irrelevant who did it. We're a team here. I'm going to manage it and make sure we fix it for you. He was furious with me. And then he was like, I've never seen someone that dedicated to his team. Okay, so how does that matter to you and me?
Well, how does it matter?
I can
to
tell
you
you
and me?
how it matters.
I mean,
you and me saying, well, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to get at. It was more me using a transitional phrase, not asking.
okay.
I feel that when you and I say we and us all the time in front of our kids, in front of our friends, in front of our parents, what do you and I say personally, and even on this podcast, team
us. Yeah. We are a united front.
So the more we say we, as opposed to I did this the other day and Jack was with me, or I did this the other day and Kathy was with me, that shows separation in my mind. So when we say we went downtown and we did this and we closed on this account, then it's easy to transition to this. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we worked really hard on these accounts. Kathy is so good with clients. You see that? You see the subtle difference there to everybody else?
Yes. Yes.
I went on a long tangent because that's mine.
Someone that takes interest in your day.
Well, I figured you would run with this one.
Well, yes.
Because you know where I'm going with this?
That's a biggie. I did not have that in
Think of the
in
song.
the past. The Bonnie Raitt song. Yeah, there's Angels in Montgomery, written by John Prine, and the version we probably all know best is when it was sang by and covered by Bonnie Raitt. I don't know what year that is, probably the 90s, Angels in Montgomery. And there's a line in there that says, how the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening, and have nothing to say? And that was something that I felt I lived for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that the questions weren't asked. It was just that they fell on deaf ears, and I never, and that is something when you are not only you engage the other person in what happened in their day and what's going on in their world, and it shows that you care and that you have a sincere interest on what's going on, and it's just another way of connecting. All these ways are a way of showing how much you love the other person, how much you truly feel invested in their welfare. And that's huge.
Yep. I figured when I heard that one, you were going to run with this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because every time that song comes on a rotation, you pause at that moment and you roll your head back and you close your eyes and you sing it. It's really cool because you've experienced it. So I agree.
And and to be sure, you have to have a sincere interest in what is going on, and you show up in spades in that way, because like just now I was like, oh, did I share this one text with you? And you're like, no, I didn't. When did you get that text? Where was I? How did you not share that with me? And I was like, well, babe, you were out of town for a couple of days, and I just, it came and went, and we didn't talk about it. But that, my point being that we share the nuances of conversations we have with people,
sure.
you know, like,
Yep. And it was important to me that I knew about it.
Yeah. Because we're that close.
Yeah.
So, and the next one is someone that says it's okay. And that sounds so benign. In fact, you might question, like, what does that even mean? Like someone just to say it's okay, but that it's a calming thing. The way I took that is it's a calming thing, like simple thing like, oh, we're running late, and when you say, babe, it's okay. It's okay. We got this.
Yep.
That is very calming. Or, when there's like a financial woe, it's going to be okay. It's okay. And I think that is another way of saying we're a team in this, and I got you. And this isn't just you, that everything's going to be okay. What you are.
It's like when we're in bed and I'm sitting there struggling with some things, and you're like, it's okay.
Really? Jack Honar, look at what I have to.
I couldn't. We've gone so long without a snarky, stupid 5-year-old comment.
Yeah, what would it be without that?
I need to be a 10-year-old boy.
I know.
It's true.
And the sad thing is I often laugh at it,
you
too.
Just did. So it's true, though. We were driving you picked me up from the airport, and we were, from just the looks of the GPS, going to be 3 minutes late to Alex's close. And Sam's close on their house, and you want to be there early, and we happened to get there a couple minutes after, and I remember saying to you, it's okay, in fact, I'll drop you off, you run in, and we'll take care of things. So yes, I agree with you. We do that to each other often. Yeah, and I do think you interpreted it correctly.
Yeah.
And that it's a calming effect. Yeah.
Agreed.
That's brilliant.
Agreed. The ninth one is laugh. And that's that. I mean, we don't have to spend too much time on that. We laugh our asses off.
Too often.
And it's not that you're just funny or I'm just funny. We both make each other laugh.
We are going to be a ball in that nursing home.
We're going to be fun grandparents, too.
Oh, my God. So much fun.
We're going to be just complete goofs.
So, Mom, Grandma, and Grandpa had me ziplining in the backyard. Ixnay on the iplining day.
Grandma and Grandpa took out everything in the kitchen cabinets and put it on the floor and made it into a landscape of
we did knife throwing
and Tupperware, and it was so fun.
Oh my God, there would be a blast, like a little drum set with the pots and pans.
Oh yeah, my kids did that.
Oh, I would so do that.
My kids would open every cabinet. I'd have to make sure there wasn't anything dangerous down there, right? And they would open every cabinet and then lay sheets across the cabinets and create little forts, and they would
oh my
crawl
God,
through
forts
it.
were the coolest thing. Oh yeah, I loved forts.
Yeah.
I think
one time in my daughter's room, I don't know if she remembers this, but we pushed her bed to the side, and I had just gotten a tent, and she had very tall ceilings in her room.
Who's this? Your sister? Wait, who'd you say?
My daughter.
Oh, your daughter.
Yeah,
Sorry. Okay.
in Mac's room, and
I thought you were saying when you were a
she
kid.
had
Sorry.
she had very tall ceilings in her room, so we set up the tent in her room.
How cool is that?
Yeah, it was really cool. She
That's
loved
awesome.
it. Yeah.
I love it.
And then compromise. Compromise. I think, as long as you keep compromising, we'll be good.
I think that's the key. And that's what I learned well. And thank you, everybody. Peace. On that note. Yes, I compromise well. And I laugh at it as I'm compromising. Saying
And then
it's
I take
okay.
my meds.
It's okay.
Then I take that little white pill that makes everything happy.
We would have so much fun in a nursing home. I got to write that movie.
Oh, my God.
And that's the arc where we get busted and government comes after us.
We're like, what?
I think in mini arcs it would be like the men would be hitting on you and the women would be hitting on me. And you're like, what are we doing? Right? I think there'd be so much to it. Or the irony would be like one of our friends drops off their parents there and they realize we're there. And we're like, oh, shit. Right? And it's, what are you guys doing here? Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to write this movie. Anyway, okay. I just went way off the deep end.
You did.
Where'd that go?
I don't know. We can edit that out.
I edited it out. All right, let's get going here because we've had a long day. We have the skin deep. We're going to ask we always do this, and I love that we always ask each other a question, and we learn more
Which
and more.
box do you want to use? The healing edition, the healing edition, the couples edition, or the couples long-term edition?
You tell me, because now we have been in a
we're
relationship for a
almost
long.
3 whole years, so we're
it's kind of long term. Want to do a long term?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Sure.
do long term. You pick a card. I pick a card. You pick yours. Oh no, I got it. You pick one for me, and then put it over there. So put mine over there, and then I'll pick one for you. That's yours.
Okay.
How's
Who wants
that?
to go first?
We can rock, paper, scissors it. What do you say?
Best out of 3 or first one?
Just first one, rock, paper, scissors, and whoever wins gets to decide.
Oh,
How's that?
okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, rock, paper, scissors, bomb. I beat you. I get to decide.
That is a
Bomb.
made-up
That's a bomb.
rule, Jack Honar.
It doesn't matter. You're part of this family
It
now.
doesn't
and a bomb
matter?
blows up everything. Bomb. Blows up everything. You go first. I'm going to ask you the question first.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is a good question. I like
Is
this. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's I love their
Lay it
questions
on me.
because they're very broad. They're not too specific.
Okay.
They're up for interpretation. Are you ready?
Okay.
What do you know now that you wish you knew then? I like
Gee,
that.
where to begin?
Right? At this age?
Well, I'll keep it on topic with this relationship podcast, right?
Okay.
And I wish I knew then. What I know now is what I want out of a partner. And I did not know that then. And I think a lot of that just had to do with my lack of experience in relationships. So I didn't have a lot of relationships prior to getting married. And so I didn't know what to expect or to want for myself. And so for anybody that goes through relationships when they're younger and they don't work out and then you move on, those are such great moments to learn from. And they are so purposeful. We're not, some people like your daughter and son-in-law, they met in high school and they truly are best friends. And they knew so much how to just show up as friends for each other in their relationship that created their foundation. I didn't know those things. And so I wish back then that I would have known what I wanted for myself and what to expect and what I deserved in a relationship.
I agree.
That I know now.
We are, we talked about this in a previous podcast. We learned that we are ranked, I think it's 3rd or 4th in relationships after divorce podcast category, right? I feel that even young kids, because for a while we had a bunch of young people listening to this podcast, and I'm going to try to push that today when we're done with this. I think even young people could learn in listening to us because we both made that mistake.
Yeah.
We weren't really sure of what us needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, our individual selves needed. So
Right.
I like that. Great
I
answer.
do. I like that too.
Great
All
question.
right. What do I do that makes you feel heard?
What do you do that makes me feel heard? My brain goes to how as opposed to what, and maybe that's the same thing, and I'm just splitting.
What do I do that makes you feel heard? Like when I say talk to the hand.
Yes, I always feel heard. Or when I say I'm really hurting right now, and I
say I don't care.
Get over it. Man up, buckaroo. That's my favorite. Man up, buckaroo. You
Or
say
I go
a lot.
whatever.
Right. The W. No, you don't even say it. Just put the W up. Those are the things that I go, I am so close to this woman.
I'm so lucky.
I think, to be totally fair, you've gotten so much better at that, if that's okay to hear. Because I think when I would have moments where, like we played earlier, hey, those are my feelings. I feel early on that was challenging for you because my feelings might be different than how you feel I should be feeling. So what you do all the time now is you totally turn toward me. You ask more questions. So that's when I feel heard, is when you ask questions, explain what's going on. You don't often go to where you used to. You don't go to solutions as much as you used to, which, believe it or not, is good. You don't go to how can I help, which is a solution mode, right? How can I fix this? You go to differently. You say it, ready? This is what you do often now, and I love it. How do you need me to show up? What do you need?
Yeah.
That's much different than I'm going to solve this for you. You ask me.
I believe I learned that from you.
Oh,
you know,
I thought you just got picked that up on your own. And then even today, I was getting emotional over, some stuff in preparation for our wedding because we're diving into more details. And I started just welling up. And you just came over because my love language is physical touch. And I was going to say something so inappropriate. And I totally filtered myself. And you just gave me a hug. You just came over and gave me this big hug. And then you told me that you loved how emotional I am. Those were ways that you show up.
Yeah.
That's how I feel heard.
Yeah. That's
because you're recognizing my emotion. So
all right.
that was awesome.
Okay.
Very fun podcast today. Young peoples, spread the word about this podcast, particularly the last 30 minutes, because y'all can learn something from it.
Damn right. Learn from these
Learn
old folk.
from these old folks. You know what I'm saying? And on that note, peace.
You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Kathy Shit Show. All recording, engineering, and production provided by us. Connect with the podcast on Instagram at Jack and Kathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Productions.
Point.